Howdy ho, everybody. I am Donut, and I am here with my fiance.
Thermite.
I've seen South Park up season 20-something.
I am watching it blinds.
This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. You better be supporting that shit too, or you can get the fuck out of here. This is season 5, episode 11, The Entity.
Right. I have no idea what this could possibly be. I've been mulling it over. No idea. It's such a broad term.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the ones where I didn't recognize the name of the episode at all, but I definitely recognized the episode when I looked at the description of it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's one of those ones where I'm not sure. I don't know why it's called that. I kind of do, maybe, but I don't know. Anyway, if you want to see the full length, check it out on the Patreon below. $4 a month. No syncing up required. It's video and video like it is on YouTube, or in the description like you have to get for the fair use version a lot of times. But yeah, so check it out. No syncing up required. Okay.
Boy.
What would you rate that episode?
Give it a 6 out of 10.
I am going to give it a...
Oh.
Now, stick with me here.
Yeah.
3 out of 10.
Okay.
Maybe a 4 out of 10.
Alright, explain.
On a rewatch. First time watching it, loved this episode.
Uh-huh.
On a rewatch, what the fuck were they doing in this episode? A-plot and B-plot were so insanely separated.
Yeah.
And the only thing that connected them was that for some reason, Kyle 1 snuck into like the original meeting where he was pitching the it. And that's the only connection that they're like.
I mean, there's a connection in all 3 acts.
Okay, so we did a discussion already. It's already very different close. We did a discussion already. It got very heated and went on for a long time. Mainly my fault. I was not using the correct word. Like
it was also kind of my fault.
It was mainly my fault. I couldn't think of the word that I was trying to use to describe what I was talking about.
Right. It's.
So, I will probably leave in a little, like, just where we gave our scores in the original discussion, and maybe a little bit of that, but anyway. My point was saying that I didn't think that the Kyle 1 and Mr. Garrison subplot were, or just, the 2 plots, were organically tied together.
Right.
Or naturally fit together. Whereas I kept saying that they didn't make any sense. Which they do make sense. I think it doesn't, I will say, I don't think it makes any sense why Kyle 1 went there in the first place.
Sure.
We got no reason why he would have, or an explanation as to why he did.
Right. It's.
But for everything else, I do think it makes sense and it is thematic, but I don't think it is naturally thematic.
And I'll agree with that. Like, I don't think it's natural at all. I like it because I see what they're trying to do, and I think, like, in terms of plot structure, it does work. It is valid.
Sure. But I think there's definitely... It is one of the weakest episodes I've seen so far, which is why I give it in terms of plot structure. In terms of a rewatch.
Okay.
There's not much of a story going on. More is just a lot of jokes they wanted to tell.
Yeah.
Which are good jokes, but the plot structure of it is pretty weak for me.
Yeah. Like, I'm still sticking with my 6, and I do feel like this could have been easily like an 8 or a 9 if they had put more effort into, like, making it work as one coherent thing.
I think also there's just a lot of stuff that we, like, start to make a joke about and then just kind of, like, drop.
Yeah.
Like, we have the, everybody coming in and being like, well, okay, wait, so with the reveal of the buttons on the side of this thing, you can just use the buttons on the side, but then we don't go anywhere with that joke.
Right.
And then immediately afterwards, we follow that up with his place getting shut down, not because of they sued him or anything like that, but because of the airlines, which, again, the dig on the airlines is very passive this episode.
Yeah.
It's not very about the episode. It's just kind of like Mr. Garrison is in a situation and then he does something and then they just, come and take it away from him. But there's not like a whole lot of personal thing. There's no like airport character either, which I think makes it fall apart a little bit more. Like there's no...
I mean, there is the security guard. Who I'd
Sure,
say
but he's
supposed
not
to,
like the villain. You know what I mean?
Okay, sure.
Like, there's no, like, even if they had, like, a corporate, airline person that, we cut to, was like, oh, I see some people are complaining about these bikes. Let's try and, use that, like, to influence them so that way we can shut this down or something. I feel like they could have done some other things. Especially because I feel like the Kyle 1 stuff, we were just doing the same joke over and over again. They all were funny, but they could have taken one of them out to further that. But yeah, that was my main complaint. I do think the jokes were really funny, though. Like, what jokes did you like in the? I really liked the callback to Steve Jobs having the bandage on his head from the bullet hole when he died in the movie, but he was brought back, assumingly, like everybody else was. But then he does still have the bullet hole in his head.
Everything we've learned about the events of the movie post the movie have been very confusing.
Yeah, it has only made things worse.
Like, they do remember the war, but it also didn't kill anyone, but also, like, people who were shot were actually shot.
Yeah, and they count it as, like, that many people did die.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I really liked basically everything to do with the marketing of the It.
Yeah, sadly I did not, you were saying it has something to do with like a segue, but I've not seen that commercial at all.
Like, it's both, the entire marketing thing is very much how the Segway was initially marketed, as, it is this mysterious thing that is going to revolutionize all transports.
Yeah.
And they kept on building it up, and people did not know, like, what it was, or, like, what kind of transport it would be. So the reveal of, it's the Segway, had this really big anticlimax. No one found it impressive.
So, like, did they not, like, reveal what it looked like at all?
No.
Okay. Weird.
Like, I think in the episode it may have compared it a little to, like, the iPod, but even with the iPod, like, they did show immediately, like, this is what it looks like. Like, it's, a big slide.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Segway, it was just, I don't remember what they specifically called it. It was along the lines of it. Like, just the thing, or, the next step.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I don't know what it would be, but...
Yeah. They also parodied a very specific hover around commercial that I just find inherently very funny. I don't think that's the thing anyone else finds funny except for me and maybe Trey, I guess.
Apparently. I did look up. Apparently, they did get Segways for their, like, South Park studios. And then they drove them around for, like, a day and found them very boring and then tried to jump them off a ramp and broke them and then made this episode.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Like, the whole It thing feels very, tacked on to this.
Yeah.
Like, they probably went into this planning for this to be only a, like, plot episode, and they didn't really have enough for it, I think.
A lot of the episode makes me feel very strange. Like, the airline thing feels like a very Matt and Trey sure hate airlines, but it doesn't tie directly into the It's. And then, in the same way, like, the title of the episode is The Entity. And that is meant to play off of Kyle 1 and how, he keeps on coming back. It's very horror-esque.
Yeah.
But they don't really, like, apart from when he does come back, they don't really play it like he is a horror monster or anything.
No. Like the name Entity is strange.
Like, other episodes would be a little, not like ham-fisted about it, but they would have made more jokes about how, like, oh my god, he's unkillable.
Yeah. Or I think the music would have been, like, we have a new music guy, and he is, I will say, not adjusting very well.
Yeah.
Like, I also noticed it in my react, like, it's not something I noticed while watching, but when editing, I noticed it a lot.
Okay.
Where I'm just like, that's an interesting, like, choice of, like, Sting music to use there. Like, I just kind of felt unfitting or whatever, but, yeah, there's not a lot of as much musical cues going on right now, which is strange. I feel like it will be, fixed over time, but I have no idea how long that's going to take. I don't remember. This is only something I'm noticing in a rewatch, so.
Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, like, I'm not the kind of person who does notice musical stuff a lot unless it's, like, very in your face.
Yeah.
But I do think it does change the way in which I enjoy an episode a lot. Like, I do imagine if you plot, like, the good, the, like, very well done musical stings versus the bad ones, and you correlate that to my ratings, there's probably correlation there.
Probably. But it's something that you would be hard to notice as you're watching.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, I also absolutely hate the airlines. Like you said, like, oh, this seems like a Trey and Matt hate airlines thing. I mean, I hate the do you not hate the airlines?
I mean, I do, but I mean, I'm saying that more as, like, there's a certain genre of South Park thing that tends to feel like me, to me, it feels like Matt and Trey sure hate this thing.
Sure, like this thing specifically.
Yeah,
I thought that more for, like, the segue then.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't get that in the episode. I'm only saying that because of knowing, in retrospect, they just, like, got segues, broke them, and then were like, let's make an episode about it.
Yeah, I honestly would not have guessed that they had any actual connection to segues.
Yeah, same. But yeah, I mean, I do think there's plenty of reason to hate the airlines, whether you are an average person having to deal with the like post 9/11 stuff, which is also, you know, why this episode is coming out right now. It is like, you know, the post 9/11 things are changing in the airports and all that. Of course, like the classic things of like taking off your shoes. I don't think that happened here because that was even after 9/11, I believe. But like. I do love the fact that we have to go through. I mean, I say love sarcastically. We have to go through all this shit, despite constantly they do tests on the TSA all the time, every single time. I don't know what the exact statistic off my hand is, but I believe it is something like 1 out of every 10 bombs they are able to, like, you know, fake bombs, they're able to predict. They're able to stop 1 out of every 10 fake bombs. So it is pointless. There's no reason why we have the TSA. It is just, again, wasting taxpayers' money and all that shit. And yeah, I mean, they are just the police in the sky, basically. Like, I feel like that. People were more willing to accept airline brutality than police brutality.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think you ask like, any random ass average person and they'll be like, yeah, airlines are extremely brutal and will just throw you off a plane. They'll punch you and throw you off the fucking plane. They don't care.
Oh, yeah.
But then it's like, oh no, I love police though. But yeah, the airlines are absolutely disgusting practices, and I would love there was like, what is the solution though? Like, you know, what is a what is a perfect world? I mean, because I guess like private airlines are not going to be much better.
Absolutely not.
No. So it's like, what is the solution there?
Yeah.
I think there has to just be like a fixed rate, like, you know, the fluctuatingness of it is what causes it to be so fucked up a lot of times, and especially with like the waiting time. Like, I mean, there's so much complicated like timing stuff that goes on now because of all the TSA bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you go to most other like countries and stuff like that, and it's not a big deal at all. I listen to so many podcasters talking about flying internationally and like hearing like how other airports are described is so fascinating to me, because even like I've gone now through the US and Canadian airports a lot, but the Canadian airport is very, very similar to the US airport. Pretty much one and the same.
Sure.
Very little difference. So the Canadian building is a lot bigger, and you have to just walk forever. Like, I don't know why, but I mean,
to be fair, that's just a difference in the buildings. Like, I've been to a lot of American airports, and some of them are very big too.
Sure, but I mean, like, even like the Philadelphia airport I've been to, which I would assume is close to as big as. Really, it's not as big as Toronto one.
Okay. No, like you don't need like the Toronto one has like, you know, a railway and stuff to get around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, it's even bigger than I thought.
Whereas the Philly one's pretty small. It's like a strip mall.
Really? I guess I haven't been outside it, so I don't know. But like, it was weird because it's all just like empty halls. Like, it's not there's any. It's not even like a shop or a bathroom or anything. It's just like empty hall, empty hall, empty hall, empty hall, empty hall, empty hall. Stairs, 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 up, down, up, down. I don't know why the Toronto airport bothers me so much that you have to go down the stairs, then you have to go back up the stairs, then you have to go down the stairs again.
Pearson's wild.
Anyway,
but yeah, I have found that if I go from Canada to most other countries, it's pretty chill in terms of airport calmness. I mean, every country has its problems.
Yeah, I mean, it's calm. Like, I'm not saying like everybody's rushing it around and everything like that, but it's just like the time is complicated as hell.
Sure.
I mean, I guess people are like, what I get like. Calm is, I guess, relative when they are being forced to stand in a line. So,
yeah.
But like, I do remember, you know, landing in or no, never mind. I'm an idiot. That was Philadelphia, where like everybody was freaking out because our plane landed there. Our plane landed there after our next connecting flight was supposed to take off. And so we had to land, then go through all of customs, then go there, and it was like they delayed the plane by a while because nobody was on it. I think it had like 3 people on the plane. But never mind. That was in Philadelphia, not Canada. A lot of plane talk. A lot of airport talk here.
I mean, fair. Airport bad.
Airport is bad. Oh, by the way, I did look up the wheel, like the mono cycle thing.
Please.
When do you think that like first came up?
I mean, legitimately, probably Leonardo da Vinci. I'm gonna say the 1400s.
Okay, 1800s actually.
Okay.
1800s. I couldn't like find like a person that invented it or anything. It just seems like something that was so obvious that just multiple people started doing as just a thing. But yeah, even like the motorized version it came out in like 1900s or whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not like. I actually want to look into it more. I looked into it very like cursory right before we started this, but I want to look into it a little bit more and see like why it's not common. Like what is stopping that from being a bigger mode of transportation? About as big as like those tiny little compact cars that are clearly very like if you get into a crash you are going to 100% die.
Oh yeah, smart cars.
Yeah, well not smart cars, but I mean like the ones that are incredible. Like they might have like 2 wheels in the back, 1 wheel in the front.
Okay.
Like a mailman might drive one of those or
Yeah.
something. I've also seen like normal people drive those though. But yeah, like those cars are like the if a car touches you, you are going to die. So it's like, or a motorcycle as well. Like how is that
Right.
less dangerous than or more dangerous than a motorcycle? Or maybe it's just impractical for other reasons. But,
Yeah.
But it has been done multiple times throughout history, so many times where it feels like.
I mean, I would say if it's been done multiple times throughout history, it doesn't catch on. It's probably not good.
I mean, planes are done multiple times throughout history until we got one that worked.
True.
So, hey, you never know. Eventually we'll get the motorcycle.
Maybe.
We can eventually stick some tubes up our ass and our mouth. And...
Oh boy.
By the way, I don't know why it was so funny to me, but I really loved the whole sequence of Sheila going to get out the frozen fish and then stabbing at the frozen fish with a knife and it flinging off the thing onto the plates. It's so relatable in a like very subtle way. Like it's not a joke in the episode. It's just something she's doing, but it is just like a visual gag.
It's something I would 100% expected in a live action series, but not in South Park.
Yeah.
Because like it takes so much to animate that.
Because it is a cartoon, yeah, it's funnier to me.
Yeah.
Like it feels so much purposeful, whereas in a live action, I would probably just go, "That probably just happened."
Right.
It's just how you get fish. So how do you feel about the character of Kyle 1?
Boy.
We're learning a lot. We have, I think, the most we know about now is Cartman's family. We know like a ton about,
we've seen all of them.
and we know a ton about Kyle's family.
Yeah.
like because we have Sheila, Gerald, Ike. Now we have his cousin Kyle, first cousin Kyle. We have his grandmother who is dead now.
Right.
I think that's all we have in Kyle's family so far.
I think
but,
so.
It's still a lot of people compared to the rest of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Kyle 1. Oh boy. So infuriating. And I love it. I love that they were able to pull off that character so well.
Yeah, I think we have all had that friend where I feel like I've been more, not in the exact Kyle sort of situation, where I've been like more like I want to be your friend. You annoy the shit out of me, but I like being your friend. I just can't stand doing something like a sleepover. Like it would be like I wouldn't want to live with that kind of person.
Right.
But like I would enjoy being their friend, but yeah. The breathing is what gets me every time. The breathing is worse than anything. I hate it.
Yeah, I love that they specifically did the bet with Cartman.
Oh yeah, the
Like-
bet with Cartman was a great addition to it.
Yeah, because like Kyle 1 himself is funny, but adding on the implicit understanding that yes, Cartman has to not be. I was gonna say homophobic. That ain't right.
No. Not be anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's such a standalone thing. It's not homophobic. It's not racist. It's anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my favorite joke in the entire episode was the concentration camp joke.
Oh my gosh,
that has
yes.
to be the best one. And like I knew it was coming, and like I still again I think the jokes where I know they're coming, and there is like what is funnier to me about those sometimes is the build up to it.
Yeah.
But the way Cartman like so quickly tries to get out. Oh my God, it's in the concentration camp! Oh damn it!
And I found the fallout afterwards so relatable, where he comes up and he's like, "Oh, did you know that happened to the Jews? I didn't know that." So transparent.
Oh yeah, I've definitely done that so many times as a kid. Of like, not like in that context, but in like a no, I wasn't being rude when I said fuck. I was saying Fuku.
Oh boy.
I've definitely been in so many of those situations. But yeah, and I've definitely also been in like the real life situations. And we're like, no, I'm not racist by saying it. You don't understand the context behind it. And then they explain the context, which is of course very racist.
Oh yeah.
I also it's been such a long time, by the way, since we had the return of the joke of the and now we're gonna cut to this news reporter who I'm going to describe as like this really weird just description of them.
Yeah.
And like, he does have a name, but he is just the I don't even remember what he said, like the Italian news reporter with gravy stain on his lapel.
Yeah. And the reporter does not acknowledge this at all.
Yes, he does. He goes,
Does he?
Yeah, he's like, hey Tom, I'm here at the house of.
You're right.
Yeah. I guess that's basically all we have to say for the episode. Once again, Town of South Park, so insanely, unbelievably gay. Every single one of them.
Oh, yeah.
So gay. I love it. I'm glad. At least vicarious. At the very least.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a straight man can shove a thing up his butt, but come on, this is a bit much. That's through the pants.
And on the opposite note, why did Garrison add backup buttons for all of the functions? Why don't you just have to use the main mouth nozzle?
Yeah, I guess why would he have put the buttons on there at all? It's a good question. I don't know. Don't know.
Everything about it is so weird.
Yeah. But I do like that they Kyle has like the same like curly hair that Kyle has. Kyle 1 has the same curly hair that Kyle 2 has, but they didn't go for like the immediate, he has like the bright red hair as well.
Yeah.
Especially since like the rest of Kyle's family even does not have the bright red hair. Like that's clearly a recessive gene that he got. So I do like that,
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah, same with Kyle 1. But yeah, that's it. See you guys for the next one. Till then, get the fuck out of here.